This is my 2006 911 Carrera S. This isn't my first 911, but this is my most recent one. I've had this car for about a month now. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you may have noticed I had a black 911 Carrera S. It looked very similar, except it had the aero kit. Recently sold that car. Had some regrets, found this car locally and decided to pick it up. Today I'm gonna be changing it up quite a bit. Planning to do a different set of wheels, a coilover suspension, and a set of clear turn signals for the front. It should completely change the look of the car. My favorite aspect of this car is actually that it has quite a bit more mileage than the previous one that I sold. Previous car had 18,000 miles. This one has right at 60,000. It's got a few options that the other car did not have, such as a full leather interior that makes it a little bit nicer inside. The sign was actually from the Porsche Festival in Houston, so you can ignore that. It was actually placed on my car, but it was cool enough that I decided to keep it. I don't plan to go into too much detail on the actual suspension upgrades. All of that was covered in a previous video. But if you'd like to come along and watch this car transform, then please stay tuned. First thing I'm gonna have to do to get started on the suspension is gonna be to remove the Bose subwoofer box. So let's get started on it. All that holds this in, of course, the 2 bolts. We'll have to remove the seat locks and a few other items to actually pull the box out, but pretty easy. The speaker box bolts were torque bits. This one is going to be a hex bit to remove the seat. I believe it's a 6, but let's find out here. Yeah, it appears to be a 6. So we'll just break this loose and then do the rest by hand. Same thing over here. The whole reason I'm starting on the inside instead of anything to do with the outside is just because I want to do it while I'm still clean, basically. Kind of hard to hold the camera at the same time. And of course, it's being stubborn. There we go. Okay, with those out of the way, the box should just pull right out. Let's see here. Should be a connector on the back. In the back, you can just clip this connector off. Box is completely free and you'll have access to everything that you need. Now that I got that out of the way, I'm gonna just move the car here. Put it a little bit more in the center of the garage so I can get it up on the quick check. Work on the actual suspension. Well, I ran into a bit of a problem. I just bought this car and apparently it's missing the locking key for the wheels. So I can't remove the wheels to do the suspension. So let's see what happens at the Porsche dealership. Wish me luck. Well, the Porsche dealer was able to help me out, so it looks like it's time to get back to work on this thing. We're now ready to get started on the suspension. First thing we're going to do is loosen all the lug nuts, which I've already done. Lift the car up, take the wheels off, and we can get to work. So let's do that now. And there you have it. Quick jack is probably one of the best things I've ever purchased as far as garage equipment. I've used it on other projects. I don't see myself living without one. Okay, the suspension is now done. Next up, I'm just rolling the rear fenders very lightly for my wheel and tire package using an Eastwood roller. Had to modify it slightly to fit the 5x130 pattern, but works just fine. Once I get both rear fenders rolled, we'll put the wheels and tires on and take it off the jack. Fenders are now rolled, ready to put the wheels and tires on. Whole reason I had to roll the fenders is because these are quite aggressive. They're actually 996 turbo fitment, 19 by 11.5 on the back, 19 by 8.5 on the front, I believe. Offset is pretty low. They have a 4-inch lip, which is pretty rare on a 997 narrow body. So let's get these on here and see how they look. Okay, wow, I knew it would look good, but not this good. There's still one more thing I'd like to tweak on the car before taking it out, and it's gonna be right here. the clear turn signals. So let's get those installed and take it outside.